Welcome to Graya Overload. I'm Anthony, and today is World Backup Day. With it being World Backup Day today, I wanted to go over a little bit and talk about backup because backing up your data is crucially important, and anyone like myself that has lost data has then experienced it and taken measures so that it doesn't happen again. And my current system is a multi-layered setup for myself to make sure that for what I need to do with the YouTube channel, with all my pictures, making sure my wife's pictures are all backed up, of all the kids and everything else, all my other data, that it is backed up in a way that I am not afraid that if everything here were to get destroyed, I would still be able to retrieve it. And as I will probably continue taking more and more steps each day or in the coming years and months to increase and make that even more reliable, I think that everyone needs to have a backup in mind as they go forward. So if you're somebody that has lost data or has been close to somebody that's lost data, you probably have a good idea of where to kind of go. Now, if you're lost and what you kind of need to do for backup, here's some things that I would recommend to at least start out having a semblance of getting on a path to getting a good backup. I don't think that anyone really arrives at a good backup because there's always a way that all data can be lost, but there's measures that we can all take to minimize what hopefully will be lost if there is a data loss, right? I'm sitting on a hard drive here that 15 years ago I lost the data off. And one day I'll send it away to get it all to retrieve that data. I still remember some of the data on there that I will like to have, but yeah, it sucks, especially if you lose clients, especially if you're responsible for clients' data. You don't want to have that go away. And these are some things that I take into account. Now, if you're just starting out on your phones, if you have a phone, one thing is to have a cloud backup of it, to not just of your phone. Really, you can do that. I can set up a phone from scratch. I don't really care too much, but if you're one of those people that like to have your phone set up an exact way, make sure you have a cloud backup of it. If you want to keep your pictures off your phone, I would recommend having them upload, either when you're on Wi-Fi. I actually have them upload when I have unlimited data, so I have them uploaded whenever I'm connected. So as soon as I take that picture, it's being uploaded to, I use OneDrive, but there's also Amazon Pictures, there's also Google Photos and stuff like that. If you want, take a look at different ones. There's also Dropbox that does that automatic backup, and I believe Box as well. So there's multiple different things. I pay for extra storage in OneDrive just so I have that. However, that's not where it stops for me, but that's where I think most people should really start out and get a backup started, because if you just have them on the phone, that device is on you. It can take a beating, and all of a sudden you're calling people like over at iPad Rehab, which do a great job at retrieving data on those smartphone devices. Next, what I would do is make sure that you're down. If you're at that point and that's all you can afford right now, that's a great start. Now, for me, that's not good enough. And I was at that point at once, and now I'm moving on forward. And I use Backblaze as well. There's also another thing called Carbonite. Everything gets downloaded to a machine that I have from OneDrive, my wife's OneDrive. All my extra data is all in one box. From that box, it's basically a central backup. That gets all uploaded to. I use Backblaze. Backblaze replaced my Crash Plan a few years back, and they've been great. One thing about Backblaze is that you can go and retrieve your data at any point down, even check to see where your data is at and retrieve it off your phone. So that's another thing. I know other people use Synology boxes and other RAIDs like that then go back up in multitude of different areas. So like, yeah, I could have one here, and then it could replicate across to, let's say, my parents' house, which is way far away, just in case something were to happen here, it'd be in another location. I do want to do that at some point in time. It's just that takes another thing of money that I don't have at this time, but eventually I hope I get there, because it is crucial for me to keep on backing up and keep everything safe. I believe my backup right now, I verify this, that I can get all my data. One thing I would recommend doing is that every once in a while, check your data. Make sure that you're able to retrieve it. Let's say you put it in a Backblaze and you're unable to retrieve it. That's not a good backup. If you can't go retrieve your backup and then restore from it, that is not good enough. there's issues that will need to be fixed, consult somebody that's able to do that, maybe in your area, that can then sit down with you and help you out. I've done this with people in my area where my wife gets questions. Oh, I just wish to back it up, right? And then all of a sudden she can say, my husband can help. So I've actually personally helped people to make sure that their data is backed up where they want to do, to where they want to be, so that they feel comfortable. Now, if it's just on your phone, like I said before, that is not good enough. If it's just on your computer, I don't feel like that's good enough either. Phone and computer, you can kind of argue with me, but I just don't feel like, if it's not in an off-site position, I just don't feel good enough to make sure that it's a backup. That's why I recommend at least like a cloud service that backs up all your photos off your phone or something like that, or even go a step further and go into Backblaze. But with it being World Backup Day, I hope that you go through and look at what your backup strategies are, assess those backup strategies, and if you have questions, contact somebody that has done it as well, or somebody in the industry that does backup, because all of us really know, that are really into backup, know that once you lose data, it really sucks. And you want that data back as much as possible. I mean, I'm going through and I'm thinking of ways to back up all my parents, photos from way back when, that, they were just on 35 millimeter film. There wasn't a such thing as a backup back then, as in this case, right? You were just getting them printed off. So to get and preserve that data that you have is crucial, because once you lose it, that could be memories gone. And I know a lot of people like to keep those, especially pictures. I'm focusing on pictures because that's one thing that my wife loves to do with our kids, is take pictures and videos as well. Today, videos, I got a whole bunch of videos. We're going through some of my daughter's videos when she was only a baby. It's amazing what you can capture by that. And so just be able to make sure that you have it backed up in a way that you can go through and make sure you can retrieve that data, and if anything were to happen, you can actually get it back and make sure that you have it safe in another place. So with that, let me know if you have any questions of backup. Let me know any other suggestions. I probably should go through and do a walkthrough video on some of the scenarios I do. I do like Backblaze. They do a great job. They've been, their prices have increased a little bit over the last year. It's still, I think, like $60 a year, which is still a great price. There's also Carbonite that back up your systems for cloud storage. There's OneDrive, there's Google Photos, there's Amazon Photos. If you have Amazon Prime, I believe that there's like a discount, or it's included, something like that. I don't remember the exact details because I don't use it on a daily basis. There's also like Dropbox, other storage areas for these. Just make sure you put in a location that these photos are being taken off your phone and devices and files, for that matter, so that it is saved. Because also you could have important files, tax documents and stuff like that, that you need to have backed up, I feel, as well. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what your thoughts are on how you back up. I'm more than willing to learn what other people do as well. And with that, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to help support Graya and helping this channel grow. I really appreciate it. Until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe.